Okay, so let me show you. This is my new thing that I got from Temu. I bought another one previously. Okay. Now, you know I love green. You know green is almost my go-to colour if I'm going to put colour on. Okay, but because of the K-Beauty, I'm now extending it into pinks, but not pink like we did back in the 80s, girls. Look at that. So there's a huge amount of pigment in there. Huge amount of pigment. Right? Oh my goodness, now try and get it off. So this is what I use when I'm doing my K-Beauty. So I get the pink one. And I don't put a lot of it on because remember, it's daytime. So what I do, first of all, is I just go, oh, hold on, no. What am I doing? Where's my glasses? I need to put on my eye primer. So, yes, I'm going to use a primer, but only on my eye area because my eyes do get very, as I say, I'm going to call it a blessing. My eyes are oily, which means I've got less likelihood of getting quite so many crow's feet as other people with less oily skin. But at the same time, it means that anytime I put anything on there, it wants to come off. Okay, so what I do, look, is because the worst culprit for me, I don't know, I think I'm hooded eyes. Especially when I'm tired, you could barely see my eyes. Right, so we know my eyes are small, but I think I'm actually hooded. So what I do is I tend to put my primer just on like the cut crease because I don't tend to put makeup on this part of my eye. And the reason why I don't is because throughout the day, that could be really prominent. And I don't want it to look prominent. Does that make sense? It's not that I understand what my eyes are and I love my eyes for what they are, but I don't want to enhance a thing that I don't like as much. That makes sense, surely. I need to finish writing Janina's poem. Janina is Hodrine's daughter. And I need to finish writing her poem. So, again, what I do is I put that on there and then I use my brush to, in fact, bring it down. So I'm not doing it thick. You notice I did not put it on thick. I put just a little bit on because this is really, for my daytime look, this is just about getting some mild colour in there. Okay, so can you see mild colour? Then what I do, back to this palette again, which I call my daytime palette. I get the pink one, the pink glittery one, and I put that there like that. Do you see? So for K-Beauty, they are really big on not sparkle, but shimmer. I'd say, so it's not like pearlescent makeup that was back in the 80s and 90s, or even that pearlized thing that we were using in the early 2000s and thinking of Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton. It's not that kind of shimmer. It's more of an adult, understated shimmer. So I put that there. Okay, but then, hold on, what am I looking for? Let me clear these palettes because I finished with those now. Don't need anything more from those. Right, this is what I'm looking for. My black pen liner. What I do on my pen liner is, you know I do this because of how small my eyes are. I don't take the liner from the corner and then go out. because I'm trying to make my eyes look bigger and this way. So I take it from where my pupil is and then out. And I don't, although it's a cat eye, I don't go up because my eyes are hooded. And so if I had them up, you would not see the line at all. And all you would see are just 2 ticks that go up like that. So I don't do that. What I do instead is I go from my pupil along my eye line. Remember, when you've got fibromyalgia like Louise and I, this is difficult. But what I do is just take it to there and then take it out. And then bring it back in just to sort of like connect the two. Okay? What's that look like? Let me try the other eye. So from the pupil, along the eye and the lash line, take it out and then bring it back. I think I messed this one up. So remember, they don't tick up. If you've got fabulous almond-shaped eyes with no hood, you could do cat eyes. Take them bad boys as high as you want them. But because my eyes are hooded, instead of taking them up, I take them out. So I still get quite a dramatic look for a daytime. Hold on. If I move that here. Can you see? It's quite dramatic without it being hilarious looking. Does that make sense? You know, sometimes you look at people and you think, oh, what were they thinking? Right. So this is the K-pop thing. This is the way that I'm turning my makeup into a K-pop look. And it's all about a glitter stick, a glitter liner. Right, I'm rubbing it like this because the liner has been in the bag and so it's been sitting funny. I need it so that the glitter goes onto the end, right? So what I do with this bad boy, again, this is K-Beauty at its finest. What they do is with this glitter liner, and it's not one of those, I don't think it's called a glitter liner. I think it's called a glitter pen or something. There's some of them where it will deposit glitter in the same way that felt tip deposited black liner. That's not what I'm going for. I'm going for this where it just deposits sort of just a hint of glitter. And this goes from the beginning of my lashes at the bottom to the other side of my pupil. So just halfway. So just, remember my top liner started at the start of my pupil and the bottom liner finishes at the end of the pupil. Okay? And let me do that again on this side. So it's very understated. But do you see that my eyes are now lifted? They just if you didn't know that I'd put on that glitter there, you don't know what's going on, but something is just slightly lifted, slightly more animated my eyes than they were before. And it's this bad boy. Now remember, I've got this in pink. If you want a natural look, depending on your skin tone, go for more of the skin tone one. So if I'm not doing my pink shades today, I would be using my gold stick of this because my natural skin tone is like the honey of the golds. And so I'd be using the gold stick. Likewise, if I was wearing the green, I'd use the green stick. For those of you that want to truly go with a K-Beauty look, they're really big on the rose colours. So whatever your skin tone is, they're really big on the rose colours. So again, maybe you do want to get one of these pink ones. Just saying, I'm just putting it out there. Right. So now here's the thing that I don't tend to use a lot. I really don't tend to use this a lot. And it's a mascara. And the reason why I don't use the mascara a lot is because we know as a fibromyalgia sufferer, The Raynaud makes it difficult for me to put foundation on and make sure it's going on in the places that I need it to go. Louise, am I right? We could get into a lot of trouble by trying to put on mascara at the end when we've just spent all this time and put on eye makeup that we're happy with. Then we put on the mascara and we just look like tortured spiders. So I don't tend to use that one a lot, but here's my new Temu purchase. So this isn't a mascara. What this is a heated eyelash curler. So again, look, my lashes, I used to have bigger and better lashes than this, but I think this is more about age. Although Pammy from Manjaro Journey with my Manjaro Journey with Pam, she explains that if I use castor oil on my eyelashes, that they could get fuller again, fuller and longer. Back in the day, what I used to use was I'd use those mascaras that had the fibers in to just thicken out my own. I've never been very good with the false eyelashes. I've never been able to master them. So the only time I've ever worn false eyelashes is when I'm doing a fancy dress look, because the way I put them on, even before I had fibromyalgia, I was so clumsy with them. I could not put them on with any sort of dexterity. So instead, I would use the fiber foundations that just thicken the lashes and extended them. This eyelash curler, it goes up to several temperatures, but my lashes aren't very thick and aren't very long, so I like to keep it at 79. So all I'm going to do is use this just to push up my natural lashes. So for me, it's not the lashes that are doing the work. In fact, my eyes are enhanced by that black eyeliner that I'm using, more so than mascara. But if I use this, as I say, what I'm trying to do is push it up. So you know you've got those older ones where you clamp them. When I used to clamp them, again, especially when I got my fibromyalgia, I was clamping skin. And I was clamping them too hard, which also then took away a lot of the lashes that I'd got. But using this heated curler, I've got a little bit more control with it. So can you see? I'm not going to even attempt to put mascara on. I'm not going to attempt to do it, but can I show you a tip? You buy a mascara wand like this one that I've got for Rimmel, and it comes like that, doesn't it? Straight. The best thing you could do with a mascara wand is bend the wand. Right, now this is why. First things first as well. Again, for those of us who've got fibromyalgia, this is so important. Do not think you're going to take the mascara out of the wand and put what is on that, because look at all that. You can imagine just how clumpy that's going to be. So what you do is you wipe off the excess. The other thing it's really important that you don't do with the mascara is don't do that thing where you're pumping it like that, because what you're doing is you're introducing more air into the wand, and that will make your mascara go hard quicker, and it will make it so that it needs replacing way before it needed to if you didn't do that. Okay, so I spend a lot of time wiping off as much of the excess as possible on my wand. Okay, so then the last thing I do, and I don't think I'm going to do it now, but because you've got the wand that you've bent it from the way it would be straight to bent it on here. First time you get it, bend it, turn it like that, and then did you see me go for my glasses? And then you will find this so much easier to just kiss the lashes and let the one. I mean, I said I wasn't going to do my mascara, but now, look, I just do that where I kiss the lashes with the brush. And the reason for that is because my own natural lashes are brown. And because they're brown, they were contrasting with the black eyeliner. You could see them now because I just pushed them up with the heated eyelash curler. You could see them in front of the black liner. So I've just literally kissed this. So there should be no clumps there. I think my line is a little bit clumsy still. My line is still a little bit clumsy. Let me see if I can rectify that. Okay. So on this one, look, it's got some gaps in it. So just clean that one up a bit. And this one seems to be going up. Seems to be going up and not out. Okay, is that a little bit better? And then what I do is, if I had full dexterity, I would try and draw in some lashes. Not lashes, eyebrows. Because look, again, I'm a child where I grew up and I matured in the 90s. And if you remember the 90s, it was all about very, very, very thin lashes. So through over-plucking, waxing, I used to use Imac. You remember Imac? that chemical hair remover. I used to use that on my eyebrows. So you can see why I'd be struggling. But what I'm just going to do is just brush out my own natural lashes, brush them to the way that I need them to go, the direction I need them to go. So as I say, I've not got great dexterity today, so I'm not even going to attempt to do my brows. I cannot get brows right. One thing that I was saying to Imani is I need to, the moment I can really start going out and about again, I need to go and find somebody who could do my threading, because they used to make my eyebrows look amazing. And when I would use the castor oil, like Pammy was saying, I used to use it on my brows, and it really did work at thickening out these bits. So I still like to keep what I've got, but then what I use is this Sleek Brow Getter Fibre Brow Gel. And what this seems to do is just I think it's like a dark brown, is it just, because it deposits the fibres, it just sort of deposits it in the areas where I've not got much. So especially on this one, look, fills it in much nicer. So that's really useful for those of us that struggle with dexterity. If you can get one of these fibre ones, kind of does the job for you. You're still not going to look like high definition brows, but at least your brows look more, you know, you can work it. You can get through life with those brows.